Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV with Admirable CommanderX, aka the Superstar. And we got Ducky on the camera. We're here for the ETF2L Season 17, powered by TT Esports. It's the Premiership, baby. No more of that devil action featuring Huhi. That was quite embarrassing enough. We're here for the playoffs. It's round one. Are you feeling hyped, CommanderX? We've got some new technology on stream.
So much technology right now. I'm just watching the stream right now, waiting for the delay to kick in so I can actually see the technology in action.
Oh, Ducky says it didn't work. Maybe there's just like a couple of big black boxes up there, you know?
They're white boxes.
Are you watching the stream as well?
Yeah, I'm.
I don't even have the bandwidth
to
do that.
Do more than watch myself cast. So, I watch myself cast while I cast.
It's like a delayed mirror. You know, you can see yourself in the past, man. It's like time travel, basically.
I think I might have discovered time travel. You're right.
Let's do that introduction again. No, let's not. We are here for Awsomniac versus Daughter. That's your third place team in the main season against your fourth place team. It's going to be a best of three tonight, so we could be here for quite a long time, CommanderX. I hope you're well slept and fully prepared.
I had a sandwich and 2 pork pies and a packet of crisps. So
2 pork pies? You're so fucking British, mate. Jesus Christ.
What did you have? What did you have to,
Potatoes!
that's way to take the joke out of my mouth.
Oh, wow. Sorry, mate. I should have let that one hang up there for you to knock down, but...
I mean, I've got this list of jokes, but there's only one joke on it, and it was a potato joke, so...
Oh yeah, pass me over that list of jokes. I'd like to get a read of that, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me just make sure I remember what side you're sitting on of me, which I could not forget since we're in the same room.
I'm sitting right here, man. Just pass me the fucking paper.
I'm going to pass you the paper. Are you ready?
Yeah. Please, I'm here. Pass.
I'm getting really confused with my camera.
Pass.
I'm so...
Move your hand the other way. The other way. Oh, yes, here it comes. We got it. Oh wow, these jokes are priceless. Ha ha ha. The silence is funny.
I changed my camera angle just before we went live, and it made it a lot more difficult to pass it to you while you were sitting next to me.
The optical illusion was truly ruined there, because I can see your camera here, but I'm not watching the stream. Hopefully it looked flawless there. I'm sure Ducky had it edited to perfection.
I see a wow.
Just sit here and wait for the chat reaction to understand. Yeah. Okay, we're cool.
I've got a laugh, a nat, asterisk was gold. Best illusion ever. Watch out, David Blaine.
Wow, I wonder if the teams are actually on the server yet. I know normally Prem teams, they don't like to start on time, but this is the playoffs.
K3's on the server, so one of the players who isn't going to be playing is on the server, so that's kind of progress.
I'm going to go ahead and launch TF2 whilst we discuss the story of the season, I guess. We'll go for Daughter first, and I haven't actually prepared anything about this. I'm just going to wing it, man. But at the start of the season, people thought Daughter were contenders. Then when they actually saw them play in that Zai Team Fortress TV Invitational number 2, they were dog shit, man. Why are they here? Do they deserve to be 4th place? What do you think, CX? Our Daughter a worthy 4th place team?
When you look at the rest of the teams available, like Lego, never going to really challenge anyone at the top. Same with Fenix, really. AOGL, obviously, loads of roster issues. Like AOGL were the only other team I would have felt suited this playoff. Yeah, you were good enough, but obviously they had all those roster problems, so they're not valid. So Daughter are kind of best by default, even though they've had probably the weakest season out of all the teams going into these playoffs.
Cast your mind back to the start of the season, there was another contender in the picture as well, by the name of Mela featuring a certain Nox. Those guys were supposed to be giving Daughter a run for their money. That's, I think, originally it was questionable as to who would finish 4th, but Daughter seemed to get it pretty comfortably in the end. I mean, there was only no points actually between Awsomniac and Daughter. But I think they won because of a result in the season or more wins, something like that. But
head-to-head results come into play, and Awsomniac beat Daughter on the head-to-head.
Yeah, and Dollar themselves had a little bit of a roster issue during the season. They kept uh, having trouble with Knutson because he was away for February, and they had Larson. Now he's back again. Uh, but we can go and look at stats for the team, man. Thanks to the hard work of Gentleman John, we've got some season stats, a summary of their performance throughout the season. There's a few caveats to this as well. The stats shown here are just for the one class listed. So, for example, you see Walters is here as scout. It doesn't represent the stats he has as sniper, but you can see the stats on screen now, hopefully, and you can get an idea of how they compare to their Premiership peers. Those rankings you see beside kills per death, kills and assists per death, and damage per minute, those are the ranking they have for that stat amongst players of their class in the league this season in officials. Are you impressed, CommanderX?
I'm impressed. Yeah, I was talking to Gentleman John a lot today. He showed me his little stat compiler thing. It was really impressive. It was really nice to see all the stats. It makes a really interesting comparison. Have we got the stats on screen now? Have they made it?
I don't know, man. I like to think so, but I never have the stream open. I don't have the damn bandwidth on this potato internet.
They are, yeah. I can see the Broder stats on the screen. Do you want to talk about the Broder stats?
Yeah, I mean, the guy I'm looking to for a big game today is Walters. I called him out at the start of the season. I said he was playing like trash, not the Walter you remember from old. And throughout the course of the season, he has sort of performed a little bit better. But if you consider that there's 8 scouts, or 2 scouts in each team and 8 teams in the Premiership, that would give you a list of 16. Great math. So there's Walter. Walters is in the top, I don't know, 50% at least. Beaver in there, who has scored, what was it, 50 frags in one game?
Yeah.
He didn't actually turn out too well in the overall rankings, but their scout pair has actually been tipped as, something that could be a deciding factor in this game. People, if you read Gentleman John's article on vanilla TF2.org, he thought that the scouts of Daughter were had more potential for game changing. They didn't hang back and put a lot of damage like he reckoned that the Awsomniac scouts do. They go in and they put out big shots, and that can turn the tide of a game, maybe.
I think John mentioned in his article as well that they don't take a lot of heals compared to other scouts, so individual scouts or other scout pairs. For example,
Beaver and bottom or something?
Yeah, I think Beaver was really low down at least. But that frees up the heals for, the Zebasai and Rib, the big damage classes, and you can see, you look at Rib stats, he's 4th on K on the kill death and KAD and all that, and obviously Zebasai is well known for being good at hitting things with his rocket launcher.
Yeah, I hope you've all been wowed by the stats. One important stat to remember is that Bull, it has a bet with Koth, the king of squirrels. I'm not sure if this is still in effect, but the medic who drops the most Ubers this season will lose an eyebrow at LAN. So very important that Bull doesn't drop any more Ubers here. We should actually go and look at the Awsomniac stats now. Because I think the game is going to be getting underway soon. I'm going to join STV ASAP, CommanderX. Tell me, what do you see on these fridge stats?
The thing that stands out for me, most of all, there's a lot of things we expect to see, like Tech being really high up in all these stats, really high in damage, all that. Flippy placing quite well as well. But one that really stands out for me is Exxon and how bad he ranks up. For someone who is, they finished 3rd, top 3 demo man. You look at his damage per minute, he's 11th, which is shockingly low for someone else, who's meant to be in a team this good. It seems really out of place. And I remember, was it the last game of the season we casted, Awsomniac versus Made in Germany? Exxon really looked out of place, kind of at this level, and he just kind of really almost hindered his team with some of his plays and decision making.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily his ability to kill things, like his mechanical skills. It's just the decisions he makes that leaves his team sort of short-handed a lot of times. You've seen him jump in and do those crazy, launch a medic up with a sticky and then hit 2 pipes type maneuvers in midair, but at the same time he's dead so often. He doesn't have the same impact, I guess, as other demo men in the Prem. Like
it's kind of a weird combination. He's kind of opting for, I guess like Rib is his opposition today, and Rib's a much more, just keep putting out damage, use all your ammo, put as much damage out as you can to open it up for your team. That kind of style of demo man, whereas Exxon, I guess, tends to pick his moments a little bit more to come forward, rather than just putting out the opening damage. But then, if you look at the stats, his damage per minute isn't very high compared to, other demo men who might let the rest of their team go in first, say, when Mike played for AOGAL. Mike's damage was really high when he let Stark lead the line, but Exxon doesn't really have that either, so it's a bit weird. I don't know what the advantage of his playstyle is, really. You with me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I am with you. I'm just trying to connect to STV, but apparently nobody's here anyway. Interesting as well, tech stats there. He is ranking up first in damage of all soldiers. Is that right? Because I was looking at Mike's stats earlier today, and he was number 1 too. Are you lying to me, gentleman John? Maybe they're tied.
Maybe
first
it's
place.
it used to be total damage. I don't know, but now it's average. I'm not sure.
I'm just looking at the TPM. Interesting, but yeah, both teams play a very pocket-orientated style. Like both those soldiers, Zebo and Tech, are going to be getting full Ubers coming in. We're going to see. I don't know. I'm expecting to see a big Uber game. Maybe there'll be a lot of lulls in the action as both teams prefer to wait for Uber unless they have a clear advantage. But we're going to see a lot of Uber versus Uber situations, and it'll be these small advantages that the pocket soldiers can create. I'm interested to see how it pans out, but you talk for a minute there while I see what's happening with this STV thing.
Well, I think because Tech and Zebsai are so evenly matched, and they both play quite a similar game on the pocket right now, they're going to cancel each other out for quite a lot of this. They're not actually going to be the defining factor, because we all know Tech's going to hit his shots, Zebsai's going to hit his shots. Just to clarify for people discussing the chat, the average kills is per match, not per map. So yeah, I think Kay just clicks on. Yeah, as I was saying, I think Tech and Zebsai are just going to cancel each other out, and it's going to be up to, the other players. I think the scout battles are going to be really close between all of them again, but it'll be up to, say, Exxon. If he can step his game up, I imagine he'll give his team the edge. And the same with if Nutson can get anything done, I don't think we have him on screen anymore, but if we look at Nutson's stats, and we have the average kills, that was being talked about a bit in chat, and everyone is above 40, obviously except for the medic, everyone's 44 to 47, 43, 45, all that, whereas Nutson averages 28 kills a match, which if my math is correct, that makes it 14 kills a map, and 14 kills a map at any level really is pretty poor, even on Roma, and I think Nutson could be kind of a real weak link, and it's up to him to kind of actually make plays for his team, because we all know how good T-Mac is, and that T-Mac's going to get the work done. But right now, Nutson looks like a bit of a weak link, the same way I think Exxon looks like a weak link for Awsomniacs. So what I'm trying to say in conclusion is I think it's going to be a battle of which weak link can be the least weak link.
It could have been the battle of the weakest link, yeah? Is that what you're trying to say, buddy?
It's going to be the weakest link here on TFTV today.
Alright, Anne Robinson, pipe down there. One thing I think with the stats is that not only did Nutson not play that many games, but Daughter themselves had a default, and they didn't play Mela Mool, and I think the stat for Mela Mool is kept in for Awsomniac. So there's some, even though it's averaged, there's still a greater range there. So maybe, as I told you off air, or was trying to defend for Nutson, maybe he was just warming up there in those logs. Now he's hitting his stride here. We could see a totally different soldier, or we could see a 14 frag abomination.
14 frag. I like it. I'll write that one down for use later on.
Oh, sorry. STV should be up right now. I'm setting up a relay as well.
Changing map. Currently.
Changing map. So do we know what the pick's going to be then? Do you have any intel?
I know. Awsomniacs, I saw the end of their PCW, and they Gully Wash. What was that, Ducky? It's loading Gully Wash on STV. So they were practicing Gully Wash, and now they're going to Gully Wash. I saw Broder warm up a little bit as well, and they were practicing Metalworks. So I don't know if, if they lose the first map, they've got Metalworks on hand to pull out. But yeah, it will certainly be interesting to see. I think I've when Dota played Gullywash during the season, they actually seemed quite strong on it. And it is Awsomniac's pick, so it's quite interesting to see them pick a map that Dota have done well on in the past.
I was suggesting, just when I was confirming the game during the week, I challenged Tech to pick Viaduct, but he didn't seem too keen on that idea. But I would have loved to see some sniper on sniper action there. Flippy versus Walters. Interesting to note as well, like in John's article, Gentleman John's article, he called out Walters, saying that even though he played more time on sniper, he had less of an impact in terms of the stats. So I wonder, will we see Beavern as the preferred scope here today? It's definitely a map where you can see snipers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
Will they listen to John? Do the stats really mean anything, or is it just Walters does what he wants?
I don't think Walters will be too phased by the stats. But I am just watching the warm-up and T-Max just hit about 5 headshots in a row. So maybe he should be the sniper. I don't know.
Somebody's asking me in Steam here, just to totally sidetrack this conversation, but what headset am I wearing? It's an old Sennheiser HD 595 with an Antlion mod mic, courtesy of Atmo. CommanderX, what headset are you wearing? Let's promote some companies here.
I'm wearing the Creative Fatality. Is it Creative? Am I saying the right thing? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, my mic obviously broke during the last cast, which you may or may not be aware of. So my girlfriend ordered me a new headset. You know, the exact same ones I had before. So hopefully I sound a lot better than now. And it's brand spanking new, so hopefully it won't break anytime soon.
I feel you're like right in the room here with me, and we did illustrate that earlier by you passing me that list of jokes. So not only is this live, but we're actually sharing a room right now.
Yeah, we used all that money you donated to fly Admirable over to my house so that we can sit next and cast to each other.
Oh, baby, we're going live! So I'll say hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV with Admirable, CommanderX and Ducky. This is ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Sports Premiership Playoff Round 1. It's Awsomniac versus Daughter Map on Gullywash. CommanderX, what's happening on middle?
Looks like Dota are trying to get up Awsomniac's side, but they have lost 2 players early, and I think that's just going to force them to get out. And there is a soldier that's trapped out 2nuts right now. 2nuts is stuck in elbow. Scout's coming to try and get him out, but T-Max eating up that Scout. 2nuts is going for Uber Source, hits one, follows up with the arrow, but Tech is there to finish off a frag. And dominant mid from Awsomniac's there.
Really, we should have been looking at the 2nuts damage and frag stats there. He's the only player to actually get a result on the scoreboard there in that middle for Daughter. Car crash, 0 points for 5 other players, only 2nuts doing work so far, but this is exactly how Awsomniacs would have been hoping to start. They're in here on their map pick, and now they're coming in with a massive Uber advantage onto last. They're going to lead with Scout. Flippy goes in to try and deny the pyro, but finds himself juggled by Walters. Walters doing work single-handedly, denies the Uber here. Flippy with egg on his face, CommanderX.
Oh, yeah, they hit like 130 damage shot on the pyro, and then that was it. That was it between the 2 scouts. And that's just going to completely... They lost their 2 heavies as well. Exxon got picked up from the flank and Tech went down. And now Dota are streaming forward. Neither team has Uber. There is a soldier battle going on up top, I think, but I don't think that soldier's going to be able to get to last in time, as there is a heavy on last. That will close that up. I believe that's Bevan on last. Yeah, Bevan's tagged up as Skip Barver. I can't speak Swedish.
Oh, we'll not try and do that. Atmo's actually learning Swedish right now. That's his dedication to the game, but he ain't casting right here. Daughter have just re-pushed from their own last. On to middle, they have Uber in the tank. Bull's only just about to get his, but he will have it in time, but the position isn't good. Looks like Awsomniacs are not confident, but they have the heavy here. Tech's coming in, Highlander style. Zebasai gets mixed up by that minigun, and Daughter are just all at sea here without their pocket collar on the field.
Yeah, Tech wants to keep going though, but he doesn't have a health. He's actually going to get caught off. Now they're going to pressure the medic. The medic's down to 9 HP. Bull's so weak right now, but he manages to stay out of avoid any more damage. Meanwhile, they do lose X on that choke, and now it looks really bad for Awsomniacs after that strong start. He is going to get T-Max going to get 1 frag, but Ribs forced them all the way back into lobby right now.
Yeah, heavy weapons guy is great and all, but he is incredibly slow. So even though they had that sort of successful Uber, they can't chase for frags. T-Mac going huge with the pick on the 2nuts there.
Yeah, bombs in, juggles him up, and lands the air shot. That's going to take him down, and Awsomniac's going to come block the point off the back of this. Bull and Tech showing their presence, and we're now going to be backed up by their demo man Exxon. Yeah, really back and forth so far right now. We saw a really strong start from Awsomniac, followed by an awful attempt at a last push, and then that pick from T-Mac there really saving that CP2 defense.
I just did that thing I like to do now and again where I totally minimize everything across all my screens, but right now there's an overcharge coming in from below. Bull hasn't even popped off yet, but both the soldiers have been set up for a bomb. T-Mac went down in the mix, but Tech gets a frag onto Rib. Flippy comes in, finds Walter's Exxon onto Zebo, goes for a third kill, having killed 2 nuts, gets Beaver on the sniper there, and Flippy is duking around here. D-Mill survived as well, and they're going to clean up that last player behind. That was Knudsen going down. Oh,
Rib just walks straight into it. The oldest trick in the book there, Exxon, capitalising, making that a 4-man in total for Exxon. And that's going to give Awsomniacs another attempt at this last push that they botched so badly last time.
Yeah, I mean, like, as a demo man, you should be the guy who's most aware that demo men like to come forward and spawn camp, but Rib gets caught out.
Walters and Zebasai follow Rib's example right now and get caught out in lobby, and surely they're probably going to push without Uber right now. Soldiers trying to come in, Exxon's trying to peek as well. They're probing quite a bit, but I think they might just wait for Uber. They do have a 40% advantage. Soldiers pretty weak on Riverside. They do get spawns in right now, Dotos, and that will help them. Exxon's going to lead for charge and try and follow up on his kill streak. They do some damage to Rib, and there's a Pyro again, and the Pyro's... There we go, Exxon gets the Pyro. Flippy gets another frag. And this is looking a lot better for Awsomniacs right now. Just 2 nuts really, and Knutsen's really weak. 2 nuts tries to get a frag, but he won't get anything. And that's 1 round for Awsomniacs.
Yeah, I think Daughter seemed to snooze for a little bit there on that second last defense. They weren't in position, like the Pyro was nowhere near the door, and they didn't really try to find any frags on the flank there and avoid the Uber, but a good push from Awsomniac. Credit to them, they've got the first round on the board here as we go to this in the middle of the game. Flippy's going to put pressure straight onto the point, and the Bull is just dropping into the ground. Now comes in the double soldier bomb. T-Mac instantly destroyed there by Zebasai, and Tech is also forced back. He's going to get cleaned up. The spam continues. Wow. Knudsen comes forward. Rib pumping out. Stickies picks up a 2k on Bull. The Mill. Flippy's the only guy doing work here. He cleaned up Knudsen, but has himself managed to escape. He's got no option here other than to run. He could go for some hero medic play, but it seems unlikely. There he's going to get shut down.
Yeah, that was a really impressive bomb by Knudsen. Not just the timing was really good to get all the damage out, but he also put himself, like he put his body in the way, so that Bull couldn't just back out because he was standing right there, and it allowed for spam from Rib and Zebasai to clean up some more players, as well as Vega leading with a Scout Soldier and focusing for Heavy right now. Scout's going to try and get on the point, try and get the demo man underneath, but they still try and finish this Heavy. Zebasai gets him while Walters gets Exxon under the point. Walters is going to start the cap now. Awsomniacs have lost all their players. There's sticky spam going onto the point. Rib's going to do so much damage there, and Dotter with a quick reply.
Yeah, that looked really solid there from Dotter. They didn't overcommit to the point. They definitely drew the attention of the French onto the point, but they didn't make that classic mistake of throwing too many people on there and giving away the height advantage. And the frags came in. They've got a round on the board. It's 1-1, 7 minutes played, 6 minutes played so far. And now it looks like Walters and Beaver want to take the initiative here. They're straight up onto the point, and they're looking for those soldiers, really trying to focus down Tech and T-Mac. T-Mac has got in deep there. Flippy's coming in from behind to try and help that out, but look at the 4 players all around 2 nuts there. Daughter seemed to be doing a great job of denying the aggression and keeping their medic alive. And as I say that, I'm expecting 2 nuts to die. Curse of the caster! No, it's fine, it's fine. No, here comes Exxon.
Middle. He's jumping in, he gets juggled, absolutely smashed by Zebasai. I think 2 nuts actually caught a pipe at the end of that and goes down to about 30 health, but he will survive. And like, it seemed like a really even fight. Like, both roamers kind of delayed the combo quite a lot, but then Tech just tried to walk up, and he just didn't see a scout hiding that pounced straight on Bull, and that was the end of that mid fight for them. And now Zebasai is going to want to take this Uber into last right now.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming from main with Walters. This is an interesting one because often you bring a scout to kill a Pyro, but he hasn't got the Pyro. He did go and get the Heavy though, as Rib focused him down. And now Walters is still being a pest there on the point. Tech tried to chase him below, but ended up looking a little bit silly there. Now Beaver's going to go down joining Knudsen in the spawn queue. It's just Bull and Exxon versus 4 Swades here. They're doing their best, but they just can't overwhelm those numbers, man. It's straight up numbers game there for Dora. Another great push for them on to last with an Uber advantage. And now it's Awsomniacs who find themselves around behind.
Yeah, really clinical play from Dotter on the last points here. I think that's 2 for 2 on their pushes so far, and Awsomniac don't have much of an answer. Looks like Dodo want to take the enemy side of mid again as well. They're getting all that high ground really early on. Awsomniac's playing it a little bit more patient. Soldier trying to go underneath. Quite a lot of damage landing on Awsomniac though. Here goes T-Mac to take out Rib. Tech gets a frag as well. Tech gets a second one. Meanwhile, Demul's on 2 nuts, takes him down, and has pulled the other players really far back. And now looks like Bevan and Zebasai want to go for this. Zebasai's jumping, gets air shot by... he's so weak, Zebasai. Zebasai will go down. Meanwhile, the scouts drop onto the floor to try and finish off Tech even. He will get hit. Surely this scout, Flippy, does land the pistol. Down goes Beaver. Ball survives middle, and Awsomniac's with a response.
I think Flippy definitely beat it. Tech out there to pad his own stats right at the end. He could have dropped out and saved him, but he's going to claim that frag. And yeah, nice there from Awsomniac. They just sort of imitated Dora a little bit, stepped back and cleaned up those couple of flank players first before moving forward. But Demul as well going huge with that pick onto 2 nuts in that cloud of blue players, somehow going in there and finding his man in a big...
Yeah,
actually a big Uber advantage for 2 nuts, not Bull.
Yeah, the Awsomniacs got forced coming into big door, but they couldn't really get anything done with it. Like, Dotter's positioning was too good, and they just had to wait for Uber. And now Dotter can get a chance to push. Looks like Zebasai's going out lower. He meets a soldier, but takes so much damage. The Uber's popped to save him. He will finish off T-Mac, but that's the entire Uber. And there is a scout hiding behind the rock up top. I presume that's Flippy. He likes doing this sort of stuff. And now the Awsomniac players are pouncing. All the Dotter players on the floor right now. They're not getting a lot of frags right now. The scout's dropping back down, trying to get on the medic. Timnus is down to half health. Exon's on him as well. Exon lands the pipe, down he goes. And Awsomniac successfully sacrificed all their players for that medic pick.
Yeah, they were all hiding at various places. Exon was behind the big rock. Flippy was up in the little rock. Demul on the balcony, but they all came in sort of haphazardly and managed to work a medic pick out of it, but they are 3 men down now and will likely lose the middle point. Tech, or T-Mac and Demul have an option here to go in and buy time, and it's probably the right move because the spawns are coming in, but I think Dotter even read that one, and they're looking at their scoreboards here. They can see 6 up for the French, and the fact they have a sniper means they don't want to get too far in there.
Flippy and Beaven both going head to head right now. Let's see if the stats will prove to be true. Flippy was quite far ahead of both the Swedish scouts in terms of sniping, and it looks like Beaven's gone up top right now. He's going to be holding up top, and is it a crit streak as well?
Crits!
It looks like Awsomniac will have the Uber by the time this crits is ready though. I don't know if they know about it though. It could catch Bull by surprise. His trigger finger's going to have to be good, as Tech looks like he wants to just walk it through the choke point. All of Dotter up top right now, all in the same place. Tech's getting through choke for free, checking for hiders. The rest of his team follow him. Bull comes out, Exon comes out. They're just trying to bait him into Beaven's
Nutson's
sideline.
in from behind! Knutson comes in from behind the rock, force the Uber, but the crits comes out anyway and does nothing. I think they were like trying to do 2 things at once there. They could have just forced the Uber and then come in with the crits afterwards, but that aggression onto the Dotter combo caught them off and they just sort of panicked, popped the crits. They could have executed that a lot better, and right now they only 1 man alive. Beaver on the heavy, Walter's on the pyro. They both go down in an instant, and that was just a bit of a calamity of errors, I think there.
It was 2 good ideas, but the ideas kind of neutralized each other because they both were trying to do the same thing, and it just ended up wasting all that positioning Dotter were doing to get their sniper a line of sight. All that stuff was just wasted by popping the crits. As we go into the next middle right now, looks like Dotter are going to play more passive going up their side. Their scouts are getting in there though, trading a lot of damage. Knutson lands the bomb right now. He will take down Bull. Knutson goes down for that, but he's given Dotter a lot of point presence, even though they're at a numbers disadvantage right now. They're trying to fight for point, but both soldiers jump onto Zebasai. Walters is able to clean up Demul behind, but there's a lot of pressure on the Swedish combo right now. 2 nuts is kind of stuck out in the open. They'll clean up 1 frag. The soldier taking a lot of damage as well. 2 nuts down to 100, down to 44, 22. He's got down to 1 HP. He gets out. And the scout has done just enough. Walters will clean up Tech. Now a soldier's jump behind. Walters cleans him up as well. 2 nuts, 1 HP.
Too strong.
Comfortable.
Max Urda there, too nasty. Will not pop that charge. He ain't scared. But that was big plays there from the Awsomniac soldiers. Really putting out a lot of damage in combination with Exon there. That double soldier bomb with Exon just walking across the point. That was quite devastating, but 2 nuts managed to weather the storm. and AWS will lose that mid fight. But they've bought a lot of time here for Bull to get back up and get his charge almost ready. He's on 70% right now. And the Ubers come in early here from Daughter. They thought they had a raid, I think, on the position of the combo. They popped into the lobby, and all they've got for the trouble is T-Mac. He'll be happy with that trade. And now they have an option to block here. Their health isn't great though. Exxon's actually getting isolated. It goes down to Zeba.
Crits coming
shotgun.
out. Tech gets free with the crits. He's going to get the scout as well. Huge from Tech. He's going to try and crit shotgun the medic as well. Tuna's down to 11 HP. I don't think he's escaping this time as Demul steals that 5-man away from Tech. And I did not see the crits, and neither did Dodo. Zebaside's still behind, killing people in lobby. He's gotten 2 frags, but he's stuck on 25 HP and an escape plan right now. Surely Tech's going to win this one-on-one. As Zebaside's just waiting there. Still fighting, it's still going on. There we go, Tech will clean him up eventually. And meanwhile, Awsomniac's rest of his team have capped a point.
France showing Sweden how to run the crits Krieg there. That was so sneaky, even I didn't see it. I have that damn HUD that shows you. I'm sure everybody in the stream was looking at it and crying out, but the crits came in and it's still in play here. Bull on 75%, crits Krieg 2, that's on 40%, Uber charge. Big advantage here, one definitely worth pushing on. There's sniper versus sniper as Flippy, Domes, Beaver, and Knutson's also gone down, but that's it. Joining T-Mac in the spawn queue there, so still man advantage and a crits advantage, but 2Nuts slowly working its way towards that Uber charge. They could still push here. They're trying to think what to do.
Oh, Exxon dies to Stickies though and Tech gets cleaned up. Scout's coming in right now. Demul just walks in and takes down 2Nuts. Big play from Demul right now. And now Flippy and Bull wants a peek. Now, this could be a mistake, but Pyro's chasing him out right now. And Bull's going to have to be in full retreat, but there's a heavy coming in from Big Door. They didn't expect that one. T-Mac gets Walters. And now the fighting's really drawn out. Flippy trying to melee people. Demoman on the point. Arrows coming in. Flippy trying to hit pan shots. Beaver will eventually take him down, but this heavy is still behind. T-Mac's going to get ripped now as well. Exxon pipes Beaver. And that was just really messy right there, but Awsomniac's got all the frags at the right time.
That might be the longest duel I've ever seen between a sniper and a scout, but it was won by Beaver in the end there, taking down Flippy. Will Flippy spawn a sniper again? No, he's going to play scout here. T-Mac on the heavy weapons guy. And again, a charge advantage here. Still crits Krieg for Bull.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be Riverside this time. It's on Exxon. Tech's going to... No, Tech's not jumping in. He's going water. It's a distraction. But Soldier's separated Bull. Bull's going to go down right there. A bit of a miscommunication right now. Tech's arriving on point, but he's not got a lot of support. Tech's going to surely get picked off. Demul and Flippy actually getting a frag apiece, including one on 2Nut. Now Tech's back on the point. The Heavy's walked in right now, and the Heavy might be able to clean all of this up. Yeah, especially with Flippy flanking Ribbon sneaky. And Awsomniac take the 3-2 lead.
Yeah, and the heavy weapons guy at the end of that push is always like a get out of jail free card. It's so devastating in that late stage of the push when everybody's so weak, and no answer to it there. 3-2 here for Awsomniacs onto the 6th middle. I'm watching a right side, attempted right side push here from Daughter. They're trying to force Exxon back, but Exxon survived and he's put out a lot of damage here. This is a great option for T-Mac to jump up. Gets a slam dunk onto Rib there. Beaver is going to take out Demul on the other side though. And AWS following up on that damage of Exxon and his read of the situation have pretty much dominated that middle. I think Daughter as well realised that things were going badly. They managed to get out with their combo and a scout to boot, but that was sort of a good read by Exxon. I'm going to give him credit for that one.
Daughter took so much damage, that entire mid was over before it really started, thanks to Exxon's early damage. They've capped middle, but Soldier's going to bomb in right now. He gets one rocket onto Bull, but Bull only takes one rocket before Knutson goes down. Now looks like they want to meet each other right now. Zebaside's going to get the pop on. Zebaside's really deep and he's got a lot of red players around him. The health isn't great on either team really. Zebaside's going to try and get out, but he has to go lower. Exxon's going to try and peek, but Rib has it covered. But Awsomniacs have taken all the position with that Uber.
Yeah, that might have been a bad move from Zebo if he had another player on the field there, but I think there were two down. Like Knutson went in for the force and he followed up on that, but there was a scout down as well, and it wasn't going to end well for him unless the French dropped a couple of players. Bull was quick on the pop there, saved everybody, and they managed to get the point in the end. Uber was traded, so it bought them time to set up here on last, but they are at a slight disadvantage here. I hear a scout building furiously. They've got a heavy weapons guy as well. Beaver is going to be rocking the minigun here. T-Mac jumps in and sees the heavy, so that might force them to reassess their push here.
Looks like they want to push from that lobby area, hanging around there with Tech and Exxon.
T-Mac coming in for the force. tries to land a couple of rockets on the 2nuts. His first rocket wasn't really that accurate, only did about 40 damage, and he couldn't get up in time. The heavy reacted eventually and mowed him down. He and Exxon will go down there, and immediately AWS gonna back out here and give Daughter the option to push, see if they want to do it. Silly Zebo focused down, wow!
2nuts drops him, and now Tech's going to get a really good Uber. He's juggled Rib out here. Rib's so completely screwed there. Rib will go down, and now Awsomniacs are all coming into last, but Heavy's taking the damage. He's down to 100 health. Someone needs to finish for Heavy, but they don't focus for Heavy well enough. T-Mac's now arrived on Heavy. Is it? Yeah, T-Mac on Heavy again, but Daughter managed to stabilise.
Yeah, I think 2nuts didn't see that scout that was landing the meat shots onto the Zebo. He was just sort of focused on the soldier one-on-one, didn't get the click off fast enough, and his bucket got dropped, but both Ubers were traded there, and it definitely is Uber. I'm checking this time. No crits on the field.
Zebasai jumps out, lands a huge 2-rocket combo onto Exxon before finishing him off with a shotgun. And now Daughter want to push out 4v4, but Nuts and jump to do a heavy though. That's absolutely obliterated. 2nuts nearly has the Uber, but it looks like Awsomniacs want to force him on the back foot. Don't be surprised if you don't see Ball commit to this one and they just go for the force. But it looks like they've changed plan. They didn't quite want to go in straight away. Here they come, they're Ubering through with the Heavy. The Heavy's getting a lot of multi. The soldiers come in and force for multi as well. 2nuts actually milks that quite well. And now the Heavy's going to get obliterated.
Oh, Rib denies Demil coming in on the distraction of that Uber charge, but got a lot of time on the point here. Now Daughter, they don't even... Well, it's a risk for them to push here. They do have the man advantage, but as I say, that Exxon finds Beaver and the heavy weapons guy. Zeb trying to come into lobby here to clean up what he thinks are weak players, but that's Knudsen, sorry. He is not going to be able to escape from the lobby there, and now there's going to be a brief window here where there's a man advantage for Awsomniacs. They can push in dry here if they want to, but Flippy is going to snipe, so maybe they're going to wait for that.
Yeah, they thought about it, but they didn't want to risk it. This last series of fights between Last and CP2 have been so close. Both medics doing a good job to stay alive throughout the whole thing. They're really helping their team not lose any position, even if they're not able to gain it. And I imagine we're going to see them just wait for a pick from Flippy right now. They've got the Heavy and the Sniper, so I think it's time for a bit of Flippy cam. Walters is on the defensive Sniper.
Oh, tags Flippy there with a body shot, takes him down, takes his buff away. Now he's going to get the hits again. He sees Walters, pops off a shot, but does not connect to the head there. And Flippy's going to change up his position here. Classic sniper maneuver.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zebsai just loses patience and decides to go with the Uber here. He's known for doing that from last holes, just taking the single Uber out, forcing a multi, trying to mix things up a bit, rather than just letting Flippy... You know, Flippy's got all the time of the world right now. Trying to find the right angle. He's going from lower again right now. He's charging up. He's going to peek around the corner. He can't see the medic though. He sees the demo man, but he's waiting for that medic. He misses the sniper with a full charge shot, and Walters will survive. And we're back to where we started again. Flippy rotating position once more. Going for the medic. Peeks through top left. Doesn't hit anything yet. Flippy can't quite find the shots right now. Swapping back to main. Scopes in at the sniper. Lands a body shot. They're just going to keep playing for this right now. It's become sniper wars on Gully Wash.
Yeah, I think I agree with your suggestion that Zebo should just push. I mean, the longer you wait here, the more chances you're giving Flippy to get that pick. Sure, you might say Walters is trying to get picks too, but Flippy has many more options here. There's an Uber trade going on though. Zebasai is going to push out past the heavy weapons guy, forces the multi, but really hasn't done much damage here and is likely to go down. There's a spy on the field. What?
It was all an elaborate distraction right now. Awsomniacs might just go for broke right now, and there's no Uber. They might just push for last, but Zebasai wants to take it on the front foot, moving into lobby right now. The Heavy's coming through main. Gets the medic down to about half before he can go down. And there is a soldier, actually. Tech's going for the back cap right now on Riverside. I don't know if they've spotted him. There's a scout with him as well. Demol and Tech going for last while Dota try and push out. They've started the cap, and there's a soldier and a Heavy on last, and Knudsen actually cleans up all the people right there. And Dota should be able to get second pretty easily, even though Flippy and Bull are kind of far forward for a team with only 2 players alive.
Knudsen's already through choke. He can jump here onto the medic. He just decides to spam rockets long range, but he's got position here. He can see, he's got the full information of where the enemy are. He's going to take on a fight with T-Mac now. He jumps up from below and cleans up the Swedish roamer. So now Daughter, even though they have the Uber advantage, are a man disadvantage. They're going to try and come in here slowly but surely. Exxon's already putting out the big damage, the pipe frag onto Zebasai there. Rib has the Uber, but he doesn't want to continue with the push here because there's a back cap on. 2 players are behind, Demul and T-Mac. working that flank, getting time on the point here, drawing everybody's attention back. And it looks like AWS will definitely hold on to middle and may retake CP4.
Yeah, I feel like 2Nuts needs to start Ubering earlier right now. Like, they seem to be able to read. Like, Ips has said it before, Route Zebasai is quite predictable. And that's, I think, 2 times now Zebasai's been dropped just before Uber. And it's really hindering Dotter's aggressive attempts.
Knutson's poised up top here. He's hiding in that little alcove on the balcony. He jumps up, gets air shot!
Still
and
gets
somehow still manages to force the Uber.
Exxon gets 2 frags on 2Nuts and Rib right now, and this should really open the door. Tech's trying to walk in right now, gets that scout really weak, he's going to finish well. Just scout behind, lands 1 meat shot with a shotgun, Bull follows up with a Uber sword. Meanwhile, the rest of Tech and Bull's team have cleaned up the flank and taken the round. That's 4-2 with only 6 minutes left, and Dotter are starting to run out of time.
Yeah, Awsomniac's looking strong on their map of choice. After they win this one, if they win this one, it will be Dotter's choice. It's loser's pick here in this stage of the playoffs. Rib is going to roll out from the right side. They're going to try and tackle Exxon again, but it didn't end well for them last time. Actually, it looks like a little bit of a bait as they choose to play around the floor here with their sniper at Big Door. Beaver trying to land shots, but he hasn't managed. His SMG onto D-Mac, but Demul and Flippy are moving forward, pumping out a lot of damage here, cleaning up the players up top. Beaver and Walters are the only 2 alive. The sniper is still a big threat here, and he will dome Bull.
Beaver's
like,
still
he just
in there
didn't
as
put him
well.
down quick enough.
Oh, Exxon, yeah. I don't know if Bull got like a miscall on Beaver's position, because he seemed to just stand still behind the box like the sniper was at choke, but the sniper was just at Big Door, so just shot him. So I don't know if that's just a miscommunication on the sniper's position right there, but it's going to cost Bull his life, and now Dota have an Uber advantage, and they need to make this one count.
Whoa, crits advantage. Correction. News just in. I'm paying attention.
Oh wow, how rude. There are a lot of
I've actually got it on the HUD.
I'm using an old school HUD. This is all my own observation. No technical aid for me. Coming up to 100% on that crit. Looks like I want to go Big Door with Rib. Rib's going to need to land something here. It's used on Rib. He doesn't get anyone with it. He gets some damage. He can't find any frags right now. Zebasai's going to get Flippy. They're going to keep trying to work their way up now. There's crit rollers at the choke. Exxon's kind of extended away from his team, and he is separated, but Tech nearly has the Uber ready with Bull. Zebasai will go down. Tech's overextended, although, but he's got a scout backup, and Rib's actually going to be taken down, and this is a car crash of a push. As I think 2Nuts is going to go down, lands 1 arrow on the scout, but T-Mac's got his back, and they're going to wipe Dota right there. And this could be it for in the first map.
That was a big play there from T-Mac. Jumped in and took down Beaver right at the start of that fight. Then Walters was chasing him down. T-Mac only had 100 health, but he managed to play around the med pack and control that choke area and eventually killed Walters. Took both of the Daughter Scouts out of that fight. I think that really paid dividends for AWS here. Now they're poised to push last. They're going to come straight in. Doesn't even have 20% of the tank. And already red players are crushing down on the heads of the players he's trying to keep alive here. He's looking desperate, but it's actually AWS who find themselves at the man disadvantage here. They've lost 4 players as Beaver and Walters just stepped into lobby there, I think, and annihilated a lot of Frenchies.
Yeah, and this map started with a really bad last push from Awsomniac, and they had another one in the bag to use before this game is up. And there's still 3 minutes 30 seconds left. You know, if Dota can take this all the way to last, there's a real good chance that they can tie it up and take it to a golden cap. It's not over
He's
yet.
sniping now. He's at Big Door, he's peeking round, he's looking for the medic, sees him through the glass of the point there, but can't land the headshot. Tries to connect with Rib there, but no joy. But right now, is this dead time, CommanderX? It's still possible for them to come back. I'm not going to call it too early. Dota are going to be trying to kick it up into 6th gear here. Like, they really have to go for it. Only 3 minutes left on the clock. There's a 2-round difference. They need to cap now if they want to feel comfortable about staying in this map and bring it to a golden cap.
Zebasai gets picked off, and there is a soldier behind on mid. T-Mac's going to win that Roma duel with Knutson. And now they're having to go for last throw over. If they pop really early, Exxon is kind of caught out. He should go down, but he just kind of escapes
There's nobody
away.
on last!
Scouts, they're all jumping back, though. Rib needs stickies on point right away. He's got a lot of stickies on point. There's so much damage going down. 3-man for Rib. Beaven gets one, and they bring it around back. 2 minutes,
wow.
37 minutes. What's the quickest you can win Gully Wash in? 40 seconds? 45 seconds?
47 seconds, TCM trademark.
Yeah, it's all still to play for right now, and Dota really have the momentum after that convincing rollback, like after they failed that mid push. Here we go, Dotter taking the enemy side again. T-Mac's going to land straight onto Tunuts though. He gets taken down though. Good service by Tunuts to survive. Meanwhile, the frags have gone the other way, including Walters on ball, and that's the important one. It's up to Tech and Flippy to do something here. Tech comes in, gets taken down. Flippy loses his one-on-one as well. Here we go.
Wow. I really don't know what the Awsomniacs were thinking there. Like, I was just watching Exxon and Bull, like everybody else jumped up and left them, but they were trying to play around Big Door. Like, that would have been ways they could control that sort of entrance, but Exxon tried to go up and left. Bull totally exposed. Two players just rushed in, and like they had no heals in the middle for those other 4 classes, but even those 2 couldn't get out, and a total wipe is the result. And now Daughter have the option to take it to a golden cap. They're going to come in here with this scout. They've Ubered in Beaver and Rib from main. They're looking for frags here. Actually, they're going to play the point. They stacked the point.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Great timing. They went in with, I think it was a scout demo on the U, but meanwhile, Zebasai was coming from Riverside. Zebasai jumped straight for the point after landing a couple of rockets on the heavy. Meets up with his scout on the point, and there's so much cap time and all of Rib's defensive stick. There's 1 minute 10. Maybe if we can take the whole thing.
Yeah, never mind the golden cap. These guys are in it to win it. Daughter trying to go right hand side. They're looking to deny Exxon, but he has just picked up a 2k with the old stickies, and the rest of Daughter are going to take that as their cue to leave. Rib on 1 HP picks up the mini, and Exxon can't land the damage to finish him off. Zebasai steps in with the shotgun. Will shut down that marauding French demo man. Rib's going to get healed up, and looks like they want to push in here, even block.
Yeah. They're going back for mid. Sticky spam coming in. Soldier lands up. Tech's taking quite a bit of damage right now, down to 71 HP, down to even less HP as Rib and Zebasai combine with the damage. Bull doesn't have Uber yet, and Zebasai wants to... 27 seconds, Zebasai still believed. Lands a rocket on the Scout, can't find a second rocket. Scout's pretty weak, Rib will help him out again. Rib doing a lot of work in the late stage of this opening map. 17 seconds, and Zebasai's taking it into last. The Ubers are traded, surely there's not enough time. They've not even capped mid. I think they've run out of time, and we're going to have to go to a golden cap.
Yeah, I'm not even sure, like, if they had both scouts capping mid or something, and then there might have been some way they could have made it work if Tunuts didn't have it.
Yeah. 8 scouts, yeah, I think the Uber from
8 scouts with pain train. Yeah, I think
maybe
something.
some kind of dual wielded pain train. I don't know. I'm going to try and get logs up. Click in the button. Type in the numbers.
Can I race faster than you?
My browser is struggling. Oh god, I don't know what it's called. What map did they just play? Gully Wash?
Oh, Gully Wash, Gully Wash, Gully Wash. Someone in chat's probably gonna have up first. I see it! I see it! I got it!
Starts there.
You wanna know how much damage Exxon did? What the hell? Kids pumping out 530 damage per minute. Stepping up. Big game player.
Look at
we
that.
saw that a lot of middles, like he did quite a lot of damage, and like Daughter almost gave him the opportunity to fight the damage, and he delivered. They tested him, and he passed.
Yeah, really even game throughout. The only thing that kind of strikes me is if you look at the scout damage, you know, the scout pairs, D-Maul and Flippy both dropping less than like 180, 170 a minute. Meanwhile, Walters and Beaver both ahead of them, even top of the damage.
Yeah, that is pretty much what Gentleman John predicted, so I guess the stats never lie. Are you paying attention to what's happening in the game? Because I am not.
I think they're going live.
Just gone live. I knew I felt it. My spider sense was tingling, CommanderX. Take me to middle.
Yeah, we're going to this golden cap between Dota and Awsomniac in the first map of the first match in the playoffs of Season 13, ETF2L. They're coming to mid right now. Dota want to take the enemy side once again. Both teams playing for the first map win in this match. It looks like a Soldier is going to go aggressive from both sides, but the frags go Awsomniac's way. And Dota are all at sea right now. They're losing everyone. Only Zebasai left alive. Zebasai will get Flippy, but he's not got a lot of ammo. He's going to line up one more bomb. He's going for the medic. He's just going to get for point, actually. Just trying to buy time here. He's going to try and jump out. Tech finishes him with a shotgun. And Awsomniacs have Uber advantage and the first middle cap. The first middle cap, the only middle cap of this golden cap.
Yeah, Exxon got maybe 2-3 frags there on that middle. Picked up Rib pretty early, and if the Daughter guys have been checking out the logs during the intermission there, they might have thought maybe Exxon would be the guy to target, but no, again, he seems to be able to do as he wishes, as he pleases on middle. Big Uber advantage here for Bull, and I wonder, will they scout ahead and realize it's going to be Pyro and Heavy? Are they going to go in blind here with... Are they parking the bus? What? They're taking the longest route possible here. I don't know.
No, they're going in. Uber through main. Pyro's going to drop down though. Pyro's gone pretty weak. There we go. Tech's going to finish that frag. Now we're going to have to focus for Heavy. Heavy's down to half. More damage coming in. That's 2 frags so far. But they're all on the floor right now, and opportunity for Dotter to get a lot of frags. It's 2v3 though. Just Ribs down to 10 HP. Surely he can't block it. Awsomniacs are going to finish this cap. All 3 players get on the point, and Awsomniacs take the golden cap. Dotter's comeback is stunted.
Yeah, that was a well executed push there. Great focus fire. Maybe a bit unfortunate. Walter's mistiming the drop down there with the Pyro didn't even really get one air blast off to deflect any of those Ubered players who went down instantly, and then the Heavy died a matter of seconds later. It was a great push, and the map is changing. This is the exciting part. What map have Dotter picked?
Badlands. At least that's what Two Nuts wrote in chat, so unless it was some kind of elaborate trick.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure it's true. Just bringing in the logs right now from that golden cap round. Tech drops 576 damage in the 1 minute, 1,000 damage in 1 minute 45 seconds. Pretty solid.
That guy is a beast. He got all the frags.
Walter's drop. Do you want to know Walter's total damage for that golden cap?
Oh,
a solid 48.
48.
No, 84, 48 a minute, yeah, 84. So he almost reached the big 100.
Didn't even get a frag, neither did Demul though, and he won, so maybe that cancels each other out. Knutson standing up there with 1 frag.
180 damage, what's that, 2 rockets?
Decent.
It's hard to ask for a lot more from a soldier, really.
It was a blitzkrieg there from